My god, this newest issue of Transformers is pretty short, but so much happens and it's absolutely nuts. What's up everyone, James here, and let's get into this newest issue of Skybound's Transformers. Make sure you hit that like button. So remember in the last video, Megatron and the Decepticons won. They defeated the Autobots and sent them running. Megatron got his fusion cannon arm back and used his newly restored power to kill Slingshot as the Autobots were escaping. I'll have a link to that video below. That's where this latest issue picks up, with the Autobots continuing to escape, but Superion carrying the Autobots ends up crash landing due to his injury. After they land, Wheeljack urges Optimus to keep moving because the Decepticons could be tracking Superion's smoke from his injury. Optimus responds that he can barely move. However, suddenly a group of vehicles arrive at their location, which turns out to be Dr. Lyle from Farmingham Hospital and the Farmingham Militia who've come to help them. This is actually the first time we're getting the doctor's name. I swear Daniel Warren Johnson named him Lyle after the coolest looking Beast Wars Transformer, Lyle Convoy. Now, back in issue 4, Farmingham Hospital was where Optimus took Spike after he accidentally got shot. Psychotic Starscream wanted to destroy it in order to make Optimus suffer. So Dr. Lyle says to them, "When the robots attacked my hospital, you saw all my patients, people that needed help. You were there for them. It's our turn now." Now we're going to transition away from Earth for a moment and head to Cybertron. This is where it begins to get nuts. In the last video, we learned Alita was having Shockwave's portal rebuilt, so she and the Autobots on Cybertron could head to Earth and bring Optimus back. I theorized that she was going to send Shredhead to Earth and have him bring Optimus back. That's not happening. It seems like she's given up on the idea of her and the Autobots bringing Optimus back, since Blue Streak told her they only have enough Energon for a one-way trip to Earth. It's because of that, when she shows Cliffjumper the newly rebuilt portal, she tells him it's a one-way trip and that he's the one going to Earth. She says, "You get everything you've wanted. You can help Optimus and you can get Carly back." When Cliffjumper says, "But Shredhead," Alita interrupts and says, "We'll stay here and help the Autobot cause. We haven't had a powerful warrior in a millennia. They're going to help us get our home back. I'll let you say your goodbyes." Shredhead and Cliffjumper say their goodbyes, and the two share a heartfelt moment. Cliffjumper says, "It's okay, my friend. We'll see each other again someday. Tell Carly hello for me." He launches Shredhead through the portal while saying, "I'm sorry, Alita." Alita yells no. Once Shredhead disappears through the portal, it overloads and explodes. Alita is pissed. She says to Cliffjumper, "What have you done?" He replies, "If there's one Autobot that can help Carly, it's Shredhead, not me." Alita orders Bluestreak to put Cliffjumper in chains, calling him a traitor. This was crazy. So, major help is coming to Optimus and the Autobots, and they desperately need it, but at the cost of the Autobots on Cybertron losing the opportunity to use Shredhead's power to put the Decepticons finally on the defensive. Now, let's go back on Earth. Dr. Lyle and the Farmingham Militia bring the Autobots to Farmingham Hospital. Wheeljack mentions to Optimus all the good he's done for the humans on Earth is finally paying off. Now, Optimus tries to deny the help because anywhere they go will be a Decepticon target since they're being hunted by them currently. Despite that though, Optimus tries to tell Dr. Lyle that they can't accept the help because the risk to him and everyone here is too great. Even though he's a doctor, an expert on human anatomy and not an engineer or a mechanic, and doesn't even know the anatomy of Transformers, Dr. Lyle still wants to do whatever he can to help the Autobots. He says, "Let me do my job for you as best I can." He then shows Optimus what the Coast Guard recovered from the ocean, which is Ratchet's body. It is slightly weird that Silverbolt and Beachcomber a couple of issues ago recovered only Jetfire's body from the ocean and not Ratchet as well, especially when their bodies were in the same area. Speaking of Jetfire, I think we all forgot this, but he's on the arc with Thundercracker and Skywarp, so I wonder if he'll be the one to bring it back to the Autobots. Anyways, remember Ratchet died after taking a blast from Shockwave meant for Cliffjumper. Optimus mourns over Ratchet's body, speaking to him about how he failed him as a leader and a friend. Out of nowhere though, Optimus freaks out in pain, and the Matrix of Leadership literally flies out of his chest plate. Wheeljack examines his body and mentions that his spark is going out. What happens next is so good. Spike asks Wheeljack about the Matrix, and Wheeljack explains what we discovered in the last video, which is the Matrix hasn't charged since his dad, Sparkplug, entered into it. And the main reason why it hasn't is because of the infection that was slowly spreading through Optimus's body from Megatron's arm that's been blocking Optimus from accessing the power of the Matrix. The reason why this is possible is because, as we learned in Megatron's origin, his body possesses the opposite of the Matrix of Leadership, which is the Anti-Matrix. Just to clarify, they didn't give it a name in that issue. That's what I'm calling it, and it's even had a few different names throughout different continuities. Matrix of Conquest and Matrix of Chaos, but at the end of the day, that's essentially what it is. Comment below which name you like the most though. Now, Spike asks Wheeljack, is he going to die? Wheeljack answers, yes. Just like the last time he was dying, Optimus tells the Autobots one of them has to take the mantle of leader of the Autobots. That's when Spike approaches the Matrix, reaching his hand into it, planning on sacrificing himself to power it just like his dad. He says, "I can do this, Optimus. Let me make you proud." Optimus immediately gets up to grab him while yelling Spike no. He grabs Spike's other hand, trying to prevent him from fully entering it. As soon as he grabs him though, the Matrix erupts with power. Both Spike and Optimus's eyes glow blue, and they're both unconscious, frozen in time. What's happened here is that Optimus himself couldn't connect with the Matrix, but through Spike being a conduit of sorts, he's bridged the gap. Optimus Prime ends up inside the Matrix, in the Hall of the Primes. In this small glimpse we're getting of it in this panel, it looks incredible. We see quite a few statues of the past Primes. One of the statues though caught my eye, and I was like, that looks like Quintus Prime, who I've talked about a couple times on the channel. Well, according to the TF Wiki, all the statue designs of the Primes here are based on the designs of the 13 Primes in the book Transformers: The Covenant of Primus, which is absolutely amazing to see. We see the designs of Quintus Prime, Solus Prime, Prima Prime, and Alchemist Prime. This is just another great example of Skybound taking TF lore from everywhere. Now, this whole scene of Optimus Prime in the Hall of the Primes reminds me of when Sam Witwicky died in Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, and he met all the previous Primes and earned the Matrix of Leadership. It was one of the best scenes in that movie. From here, we transition to the Decepticons tracking the Autobots. Soundwave informs Megatron that Laserbeak has scanned the area and found footprints of Optimus Primes from some time ago. Megatron and Soundwave come across the same place Optimus first saw Earth's beauty and wonder, all the way back in issue 2, where he accidentally stepped on a deer. Megatron discovers the burial site where Optimus buried that deer. He exhumes the body of the deer, and he mocks Optimus for burying what in his eyes is such an insignificant creature. He tells Soundwave that is what led to Cybertron's destruction, is Optimus Prime's compassion and his unwillingness to make the hard choices. He goes on to admit, like Optimus, he is amazed by Earth's beauty, and that it reminds him of Cybertron before the war. His dream is to return Cybertron back to that. He squishes and tosses the remains of the deer and says, "But achieving that dream takes sacrifice." Prime never wanted to do what was necessary. His naivete led to our entire planet's destruction. Before our war began, I was tested, and through that trial, I was found worthy of a great gift, one to help me right the foolishness of the Autobots and their hopes, the foolishness of Prime's hopes. Soundwave, call off the search. I want Optimus Prime to learn one final lesson before I end him. Soundwave asks, what lesson is that, my lord? Megatron answers, simple. All hope leads to ruin. This might be too early for me to say, but this might be my favorite version of Megatron. Like, every panel, every monologue is just so freaking good. My god. Now, this leads us to later, in the middle of the ocean, most likely near the coast of Seattle, we see a huge military force of jets and helicopters above these aircraft carriers, preparing to launch an assault on the Transformers. A squadron of jets called Eagle Group sounds off, saying Eagle 1 here, Eagle 2, Eagle 3, etc. The Eagle Group commander says, let's do this for Frosting. So, in issue 2, that's where Duke and his buddy Frosting faced off against Starscream, who ended up killing Frosting in the most brutal way. Unfortunately for these pilots, they're not getting revenge for Frosting, because psychotic Starscream shows up out of nowhere and annihilates them right on the spot. The Decepticons launch an all-out assault on the entire military force here. It's a straight bloodbath. As Starscream is firing Megatron, Megatron announces who they are to the troops here. He says, we are the unstoppable force. We are your new masters. We are Decepticons. And when you finally bend the knee, you will thank us for the privilege. This is insane. Bruticus and Devastator, who are on top of the aircraft carriers, are destroying the tanks and massacring the troops on them, competing on who gets the most kills. As that madness is going on, we head to the secret government location where Carly and Ultra Magnus are being held. General Flag is interrogating Carly. She's doing her best of withholding everything she knows about the Transformers, and Flag points out to her that her father was the first human killed by them and has spent a lot of time with them. So basically saying not only should she have a grudge against them, but she should also know a lot more than she's letting on. Carly lies that she doesn't know anything special about them, but does give Flag the basics on what she knows about them. She says there's good ones, there's bad ones. They need fuel just like us. They can be killed just like us. They're just bigger. I have to point out the genius move Carly is pulling here while being nonchalant with Flag. She points out that there is a distinction within these advanced robots. This right here, along with Megatron announcing the Decepticons, I believe both of these things will finally make the government realize not all of the Transformers are evil. There are factions within them. Carly asks, can I go now? Flag answers, and where are you going, home? You're not understanding the gravity of the situation. The West Coast is falling. Carly is like, what do you mean? Flag says, Tacoma is a wasteland. Seattle is under attack as we speak. The president has ordered mass evacuations. It's time to choose a side, Carly. Help us protect you. Help us protect this beautiful country. When it comes to Flag's statement of protecting the country, Carly calls BS because she says protected like bombing Orcus Island. Yeah, right. What Carly is referring to is the Joe team bombing Ultra Magnus's fort at San Juan Islands, where Orcus Island is the largest of them, before capturing her and him. As Flag is interrogating Carly, Ultra Magnus is still being tortured by the government. Doc, still witnessing this, has had enough. He pulls a gun on the guard in the control room with him. The soldier, shocked, is like, Doc, what are you doing? Doc replies, the right thing, soldier. It's all right now. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to hurt anyone. But I do have to help someone. He deactivates the machine and releases Magnus from his restraints. The alarms are sounding off throughout the base. Magnus tears open the facility. Flag comes out of the interrogation room with Carly and tells the troops to stop Magnus. And I was like, what the hell are they going to do to stop him? Magnus sees Carly and grabs her and bursts out of the base. Now, Magnus had also grabbed Doc. Once they're far enough from the base, Doc tells Magnus to drop him because he does want to face the consequences of his actions. Magnus asks, "Why did you free me?" Doc answers, "I was where you were once, a captive, tortured." So more than likely, Doc's experience on the front lines that's been referred to since his introduction was him being a prisoner of war. Ultra Magnus, learning that Doc experienced what he did at the hands of Shockwave, asks him, "How do you stand? How do you live?" Doc answers, "I have people that need me. They keep me going. Don't you have anyone like that?" Ultra Magnus, for a moment, looks at the sunset. He transforms into his vehicle mode and says, "Yes, I do." The Ultra Magnus redemption arc begins. Mark my words, he's going to dominate some Decepticons. He'll be the badass the Autobots desperately need right now. Returning to the Autobots, Dr. Lyo, the Autobots, and everyone in Farmingham are leaving the city. While transporting Optimus and Spike's unconscious bodies, Dr. Lyo checks Spike's vitals. Wheeljack asks if there's been any change. Lyo answers, "None that I can see. Breathing is fine, vitals stable, but that hand still won't come out. How about Optimus?" Wheeljack responds that he's the same, theorizing that it seems like Optimus is in a dream he can't wake from. When Lyo asks if he knows anything about the Matrix, Wheeljack says, "All I know is that Cybertronians are the only beings to ever have interacted with the Matrix before. Sparky going inside changed it. Maybe we never understood it well enough in the first place. Where are we going, Doctor?" Lyo answers that the government is transmitting over all radio channels, telling everyone to go east as fast as they can. Wheeljack asks, "What's east?" Dr. Lyo answers, "The Windy City. We're making our final stand in Chicago." My God, we have 2 more issues until Robert Kirkman takes over at issue 25 of the Transformer comics. So you know, Daniel Warren Johnson is going to end this run with a major bang. God, I cannot wait. That's the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel or hit that follow button on Spotify. Check out the Void Rivals playlist if you want to see the craziness that's currently going on in space in the Energon universe, or the Transformers playlist if you want to experience it all over again to where we are now. Other than that, have an awesome day, and always remember every day to go beyond.